you guys take moments and you literally pull away from the greatness of LeBron James and build Michael Jordan's career and history. Like, this wasn't a guy who physically punched one of his teammates. Like, this was.
Wait a minute. You are really just taking. You come back over here. We're here. You just went over there. First off, we did not say this. J.R. Smith said it. Eddie Howe said this. We did not say it.
They got a Michael Jordan tour. They got a No Bull tour about one guy.
You see how long that lasted? You see how long that lasted?
They got a tour.
But wait. Hold on. Let me say this. Let me say this though. But hold on. Check this out. We didn't say this. I want to say it again. Why are you?
On the tour?
But listen, okay, you're right. They did have a No Bull tour, but at the same time, the same person, the primary person, Scottie Pippen, on that No Bull tour, did he not go into Australia TV studio, sit down and say and proclaim Michael Jordan as the GOAT at the same time he's supposed to be having a tour? Welcome back to another episode of GOAT Debate Media. I'm your host, Abaya Israel. I'm here with the two coaches. Y'all see him, Coach Scott, Coach J.O. And we got a doozy lined up for you tonight. Man, listen. I gotta ask a question, man. We gotta talk about it because there's too much of this chitter chatter. There's this jibber jabber around the internet. Today's NBA better than yesteryear's NBA? Oh, the 90s. Hey, we not done with the 90s or the 80s or even the 70s or the 60s. We're gonna talk about it. Is the talent better now than it was then? Also, the NBA play-in. We just had that. We definitely gotta talk about that. Y'all gotta stick around for that. But we got a question we want you to stick around for. The 2003 Cavaliers. How good was that team? Was LeBron really by himself? Did he really have no help? How good were they? We're going to find all that out after this and more.
Even though I killed the ghost, there's still room to debate. It's either Jordan or LeBron who being labeled the great. If you hungry for the smoke, then come and get you a plate. Cause some rock with LBJ and some giving them hate. Tune into the show, cause we about to get into it. Jordan is the GOAT. But now it's time to prove it.
All right, we back. And let's just jump right into it. Hey, Coach J.O., what's your thoughts on today's NBA being more talented and more skilled than all the other generation of players that we've seen come through the NBA? Now, I'll be honest with you. I can understand where they're coming from because we do see guys jumping out the gym. We see some new basketball moves. We see a lot of new stuff that we probably didn't see years back. So we see some new things. But does that make them more talented? Does that make them more skilled? You know, I can understand where they're coming from, but let's get into it. What's your thoughts on it?
See, we have to look at it from this perspective, right? Skill versus talent. Skill versus talent. Now, when I think about skill, I think about dribbling, passing, shooting, footwork, IQ, defensive skill as well. So if we're referring to that, no, this era isn't more skilled. I mean, I see players not only in high school, college, and even the pros don't even know how to make a post-entry pass. They can't make a proper post-entry pass. Literally can't.
Facts.
Now, from a talent perspective, from jumping, quickness, size, agility, I would say this era is slightly better. It's not a large margin, but slightly better.
Why would you give it a slight margin? Why a slight margin?
From the simple fact of this, right? Because from a talent perspective, when you're able to shoot the ball from such a far distance, along with having the freedom to be able to dribble the ball with so much space, it gives your talent or it maximizes your talent. Let me say that. And it puts
gives
your
you a little
talent
room to
on
grow
display.
a little more.
Say it again.
You're saying it like it gives your talent a little bit more room to grow because
Yes, your talent is on display. Like, you got to think about it. In the 90s, more so in the 90s and even in the 80s, you weren't able to display it. You get what I'm saying? Because your coach wasn't going to allow you to do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of on display. Everybody is able to have the freedom of movement, and players have freedom to be able to do whatever it is that they want to do. They're able to showcase their talent. You understand?
That's true.
So I
That's
mean,
true.
it's slightly better because cats have the ball in their hand. They can dribble, 16, 17 seconds of a shot clock.
That's true. That's true. Coach Scott, what's your thoughts? Do you think today's NBA is more talented and or more skilled than yesteryear's NBA? Do you think they're just better quality players today?
No, not better quality. Here's the deal. Back when we were watching ball, back in the late 80s, early 90s, we saw skill set based on the position that people played. We had true point guards. We had true centers. So from a skill set standpoint, we actually saw athletes that dominated their positions. We saw what footwork looked like from a big skill guy. We saw what dribbling and creating looked like from a true point guard scenario. Now you have the non-team player creating the shot for themselves and becoming an individual in the sport. So yes, from that standpoint, yeah, there are better individual players in the game now, but from a team aspect, from a facilitation aspect, from an overall guys, no, they're not. Because Paul Pierce said it best. If you want to learn the fundamentals of basketball, you need to watch the women's game. The women's game gives you the true aspect of the fundamentals of passing, of true pick and roll basketball, of how to create shots and create space. That is true basketball, the way we grew up watching it, the way we played it. But now you have isolation basketball where individuals are able to literally take players out of the comfort zone.
I can see that.
Where you got centers coming out guarding behind the three-point line, which is just not natural.
So I got a question for you. Would you say, both of you, would you say, since before, let's use the 90s, for example, it was more team-oriented basketball, not as much ISO and all that. So would you say that those team players would be harder to defeat than isolation players? Go, Jill.
It just depends on the rules. Like, it depends on what set of rules you're under. You know what I'm saying? Because if you got the freedom of movement, no hand checking, and you're able to be you're not able to be physical, then there's things you wouldn't be able to get away with. You know what I'm saying? But if you're able to be physical, you're able to hand check, then you'll get away with a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And if you were able to do that, you'll take a lot of these teams out of their comfort zone. I remember Hubie Brown made a statement. They were asking him about the great Hubie Brown. He used to coach for the Grizzlies, and he does some commentating now. But he was talking about which era was the toughest, and he was telling them like the hand checking era was tough. He said, imagine if Michael Jordan today, right, or Kawhi Leonard, or a big strong player like Giannis could literally get their hands, put it on your hip, and guide you wherever they want you to go. You wouldn't be able to do anything. You understand? But I'm always told that this era is so skilled. So if this era is so skilled, why not bring back hand checking? Why not bring it back? You know what I'm saying? You should be able to, if you're so skilled, you should be able to defeat the hand check. Michael Jordan did it. You know what I'm saying? He averaged 37 in a hand checking era.
True.
With no 3-point
Very true.
line.
Now that was a fact, Coach Scott. So let me ask you this. So based on what Coach J.O. just said, if you took the 90s or the 80s teams and you put them in this era, if they played in the harder era and you put them in this era, do you think they excel more? Not just because an individual could play, individual can actually, play ball, but you have a team of players together. I think, and this is me, I think if we had to pick a team, if I had to pick a team that was closely related to team basketball back in the 90s, but kind of still played in this era, it was the Spurs. It was Tim Duncan. It was, that whole squad, Would you think that, let's say, the 91 Bulls will excel in 2024?
91 Bulls, probably not. The later Bulls, absolutely, because of the freedom of movement. Team basketball-wise, Utah Jazz would survive because they would be able to figure it out. Like you said, the Spurs, they would be able to figure it out. The Rockets, they would be able to figure it out. The Detroit Pistons, they would be able to figure it out. Showtime Lakers, they would be able to figure it out. Other teams, dead and stinking. Dead and stinking. They don't have enough talent. They don't have enough wherewithal to create space.
Hey, yeah, man,
Hey.
dead and stinking, man. That should be on the shirt. Dead and stinking.
That's a great point, Selwyn, about those Utah Jazz teams, man, because they was always high in assists.
Man.
Even the Bulls.
Man.
Even the Bulls. Hey, and I just made a statement when I said no 3-point line. I wasn't saying that it wasn't a 3-point line. I was saying that Jordan didn't take threes. So I don't want nobody to get confused and said no 3-point line.
I'm glad you say that. 30 comments. Oh, who is this guy? He don't know what he's talking about. Get him off the show. I can see it right now.
Threes. That's what I meant by that. He didn't take them. But that was a great point, man. Those Utah Jazz teams and Bulls teams were always high in assists, 25, 26 assists a game. And that was,
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the norm for today. That would be like number 1 or number 2, even in today's game.
Right. And then when you add in the basketball IQ of those teams, that's what just does it for me. Those teams would totally be able to be relevant and really compete for titles year in and year out.
I can see that. I can see that. Coach Scott, great point. So, Coach J.O., let me ask you this then. So we talking about talent. You believe that, let me ask you, do you believe that that players are faster, stronger? Because I heard you say bigger earlier. I don't remember if you said faster, stronger, and they jump higher, they're quicker. Do you believe all those things about today's NBA?
Slightly. Now, it's not a huge margin. You know what I'm saying? It's not a huge margin. So I would say this era is slightly faster, slightly stronger in certain positions, right? Not in every position, in certain positions. You know, especially not
which positions though? Which positions?
I think not the big men. Like on the wings, they're stronger now. On the wings, and then like the guards positions, that you know what I'm saying, they're a little stronger. You're talking about the Kawhis, the LeBrons, the Paul Georges of the world. No, those guys are humongous, man. You know what I'm saying?
I can see that.
But you know, back in the 90s, when you're talking about David Robinson, man, and you know, your Shaqs and you know, your Wilts and those guys, Karl Malones, you're not dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? Ben Wallace, you know, that's just too much. You know what I'm saying? But at the wing spots and like some of those guards, man, like, you know, your Derrick Roses, your Russell Westbrooks, man, those guys, man, those are strong, fast, physical. You know what I'm saying? Like we never really seen that type of athleticism at the guard position. Ja Morant, John Walls.
So here's something that I heard someone say. I think it was Gilbert Arenas. He was talking about how the players he didn't really mention the 90s. I believe he was talking about the 80s and the 70s, but you know, how the players before Coach Scott would just have the basic dribble, pass, and pull up. But today's players, they crossing, they behind the back, they doing all this extra stuff. And because of that, he's equating it to the fact that they're much better. They're more talented. They have more skill. And they're overall better players now because of that. Do you agree or disagree with his statement? Now, granted, I want to say this now. I didn't quote him, you know, verbatim. It's just something to that effect. But do you agree or disagree with that?
Well, I was always taught, man, you can have $100 move with a 50-cent shot. What they did back then created space, and it was effective. What they do now creates space, but you got guys like Clay, who is one of our best shooters of the time, went 0-10 in a key matchup game. So you can't equate it that way. I think Gilbert Arenas was trying to prove a point that in his arena, yeah, you got to go for the guys that are in your era, but what they did back then was just so much more effective, in my opinion, because they played the game inside.
On the outside, they created their own space to be able to shoot because of the hand checking rules back then.
Yeah. I think your audio went out, but you came back in, so we'll keep it trucking. So, Coach J.O., let me ask you this. So, he was making the point that, all right, if I come down, I dribble, I cross, spin, do something crazy, and then I pull up and shoot. Doesn't it all go back to the same thing? No matter what you do, it still comes back to the dribble and pull up and shoot. Do you make it or do you not make it? It's the same thing, is it not? Okay, you made it look a little prettier. You know, you made it look prettier. And don't get me wrong, the cross can get you some extra space. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is it does go back to the fundamentals. Everything has to go back to the fundamentals. Right or wrong?
Oh, you're absolutely right. And you know, one of the drills that I like, you know, to test players and see can you really play is I like from 3-on-3 to 4-on-4 to even 5-on-5, no dribbles. I want to see can you score in a 3-on-3 setting or in a 4-on-4 or 5-on-5 setting without dribbles. That will tell me whether you can play the game of basketball or not. Can you properly screen? Can you cut? Can you pass? Can you do that? Like hey, the Spurs do it. You get what I'm saying? The Spurs did it. There wasn't a lot of dribbling going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of back screens, a lot of cuts. You know, even Kobe talked about it. Kobe Bryant, man, the late, great Kobe Bryant, he talked about this era of basketball. He was like, there's literally like there's no real offense. All you do is drive and kick.
Right.
You know, you drive, kick, shoot the three. There's no real movement. There's no real offense that getting everybody involved. You know what I'm saying? You just got people spotted up in the corners.
Yeah, when we shooting like 43s per game, I don't know, man. That's a lot of 3-point shooting. 43s a game.
The Rockets did that in the 2018 Western Conference Finals. They missed in Game 7. They missed what, 21 straight? 21 straight threes? 20, 21? One or the other, man. It was crazy.
Why are we shooting so many threes? Why is it you're down by 2? Okay, I know the shots. Let's say it's the shot clock or the game clock is getting low. You're down by 2. You got, I don't know, a minute and 5 to go. 3. You're only down by 2. Stop shooting threes. Get the drive. Get fouled. Take the easy baskets. But that's what I'm used to.
Factor is gone. Big skill factor is gone. No more Akeems. No more Shaqs. No more paint play. No more great paint play.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, now they say the mid-range or the long 2 is the worst shot according to analytics. Right. And it's not the worst shot. It's just that players don't know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the skill to do it. That's the reason why you say it's a bad shot. It's not a bad shot. You just can't do it now.
Facts. It is what it is. Well, let's go to the next segment and let's talk about the NBA play-in. Coach Scott, I'm coming to you. I'm just going to ask you. I'm going to be up front because, you know, I like to do this because I love to hear your response. How'd the Lakers do?
Hey, man, it was a nail biter. It was a barn burner, but they pulled it out. It was a great game. I think I hope Zion is healthy to be able to play in the next game. He had a great game. 40 points, 10 points per quarter. He did everything he could but carry the kitchen sink and give everybody water to try and give his team a chance to win. He gave his team the best chance to win, but I think the Lakers, they definitely put it together as a team. Those gritty games are what count, and they pulled out a win. You know, I ain't gonna say too much, but you know, we had a
wait. Why you gonna say too much?
Last night. What's that?
Why you gonna say too much?
I ain't gonna say too much. We had a Coach James. We had a Coach James site. He had the pretty girl sitting at the bus stop flirting with a triple double, but he ain't do it.
You said Goat James. James. That always sounds weird when I hear it, Coach J. Goat James. Listen, hey. So let me ask you this real quick, Coach Scott, before we go to Coach J. How you think they're gonna do it against the Nuggets? Think they got a chance?
Hey, I do. I think that you get the Nuggets early. You get them early. You don't exert all of the playoff energy that you had to exert last year. I think they do better than they did. I mean, no, they don't get swept. I definitely don't think they get swept.
They get one game?
I'm sorry?
Say what, they get one game?
No. It is definitely a 6-7 game series. Definitely a 6-7 game series.
Did you say 7?
If y'all listen to me, you won't be wrong. Coach Jo has put out, and you have put out a bunch of information as it pertains to basketball here lately, and I've just been proven right on all scenarios. South Carolina
Can
ran
you
the table.
wait? Can you fill us in with that information that we put out?
Absolutely, I have no problem doing so. Caitlin
Okay.
Clark, she didn't show up. She got locked up. You know, she got locked up. She got put in basketball jail. South Carolina stayed perfect as I predicted. You know, things of that nature. Would the Lakers make the playoffs? Yes, they did. You know, things of that nature. I always get proven right when you guys talk about it.
When did we ever say the Lakers would make the playoffs?
Well, that was the question when the Lakers were 15 and 15. Well, they were 13 and 15. Coach Jo asked me, you know, on the earlier rounds of the show, you think they're gonna make the playoffs? They you know, they look subpar. They look middle of the road.
Coach
Jo.
Coach Jo. A question and a statement last time I checked were two different things, right? At least for me, I just asked the question.
He was tele-asking.
Who?
Coach Jo was tele-asking.
Oh, that's on you, Coach Jo. You can respond to that.
Yeah, he was telling me and he was asking me a question at the same time.
But listen, I'm just glad that these shows are recorded. You know, I'm glad they are recorded. Hey, and you sure not saying that with a lot of confidence, man. Poke your chest out and say it. You know, they'll do better than they did last time. What does that even mean?
Last time?
They won no games last time they played. What? They're gonna win a quarter, 2 quarters, win a game, 2 games. Like, poke your chest. Say the Lakers are gonna win. Say it. Just say it.
The Lakers are gonna
win.
win.
Don't be scared. Say it.
But look, I'm worried about my Miami Heat winning their playing game right now. You know, we lost 105 tonight. I'm trying to win. I'm trying to get my guys to win. So, you know, hey.
Sound like Geico. That's all I said. Sound like Geico. Insurance.
Never be wrong with that.
He's trying to get that insurance just in case when they get beat. He got that insurance. He got Geico.
Let me say this, right?
Coach Jo, was I right?
Say it again.
Was I right?
I mean, a dead clock right 2 times a day.
Say it with your chest.
A dead clock is right 2 times a day.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thanks.
So let's just be real, right? It took, think about what it took for the Lakers to win that play-in game. Think about it. Brandon Ingram played none in the fourth. Zion got injured
because he was trash. He didn't bring any energy to the team. He brought no energy to his team.
Hey, listen, if you say that, I mean, allegedly he was on minutes restriction, right? Allegedly. Hey, listen, but think about it. AD played 42 minutes. LeBron James played 40 minutes, right? If you really think that they're going to play a 6-7 game series against the Denver Nuggets with Anthony Davis playing 42, LeBron playing 40 minutes, you out of your mind. It ain't going to happen. It's not. I really had a little hope in the Lakers thinking, okay, they could do it. After watching last night's game, unless like Jokic get hurt, Jamal Murray get hurt, I don't see the path to victory. I don't see it. You know, they got a quarter in them. They may have 2. They're going to give out a gas. You know, LeBron played good in the first 3 quarters. AD played good. But LeBron was gassed in the fourth, man. He was gassed.
He was. He had no legs in the fourth quarter. I would definitely agree with you on that.
But that's what happened last year. That's the same thing that happened last year in those 4 quarters, man. He was terrible. He was terrible last year in the fourth. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't see it. You get what I'm saying? Like Anthony Davis, where's the depth, man? I don't see it. I just don't.
Hey, look, here's what I see. A team that had the same exact record. In the game of chess, right? They were strategically trying to pace themselves out this season. Anthony Davis played more games than he played historically throughout his whole career, right? You had LeBron James playing over 70-plus games. That's phenomenal in itself. But then what they were trying to do was literally pace out the season. But the West, it being the West, they you know, it was just a better scoring conference, and the win-loss column didn't shake out the way that they thought it would. Last year, same record, same time, they're fourth in their conference. Just so happen they got a plan to play in this year. Those things matter. But when we look at what actually is shaking out, if the Lakers really wanted to be strategic and not be champions, they really would have just tried to play in for the play-in and beat the Kings. Really, if you want to go there. But they did what champions do. They said, the hell with it. Let's go play who knocked us out and swept us so we can show who we really are and what we're made of. Now, if they get swept again, it shows who they are and what they're made of. But if they end up beating these Denver Nuggets, then we find out who they are and what they're made of.
I can't believe it's called the Lakers champions, but okay.
Me either. Like,
That's a champion spirit, man. Get out of here. That's a championship organization. Anybody, that's just like anybody that goes to the Bulls. That's a championship.
Historically, but we had a conversation just off camera, Coach Scott, and we were talking about how nobody wants to go to the Bulls and how it's kind of Bulls like not the game against the Bulls and the Hawks were not. Nobody even wanting to watch that.
It wasn't even worth watching.
No, they're a championship team historically. Historically. The Lakers are not a champion. They're not champions. All right, they're not champions. Not in the last 2 or 3. I mean, historically, yes, but not now. Not now.
AD and LeBron on a team together are champions. The other guys got to learn how to be champions, for sure.
You really?
Oh, Coach Dale, I know where it's going, but I'm gonna let you have it.
Hey,
I'll talk about it in the next segment.
You talking about the bubble gum championship? You talking about that one?
Yep.
Yes, we're talking about the one that I can go get from out of the machine for 25 cents, put the quarter in, the twist, and get that ring out. You talking about that one?
Yep, that one.
Oh, okay. Like,
I mean,
why
I
you
give
just
him that
can't?
one.
I guess Mickey Mouse. You know, I guess. Why you just can't say the Lakers underachieved? Like, why you gotta make up all of these scenarios to why they coasted through? Just say they underachieved last year. They underachieved this year. Why would a team with the quote-unquote GOAT and you got Anthony Davis, why are you in a play-in situation? Why? What?
You done?
I'm asking a question. Why would a team with Anthony Davis and LeBron James
I think he finished
in a play-in situation? Why?
Because again, I told you, LeBron, I mean, Michael Jordan fans just don't listen. I don't get it, but they just don't listen. Strategically,
oh my goodness,
the same win-loss puts them in fourth. The conference just didn't shake out like that this year. It just didn't. It just didn't.
Coach Scott. Come on, wait. Are they in fourth place?
No, they're not. They're in seventh place, right?
But if it was last year, they'd be in fourth place.
If it was the fifth, we all be drunk.
But wait, that's what you're saying. If it was last year, they'd be in fourth place?
Correct.
Is it last year?
No.
Then they're not in fourth. It doesn't matter.
It
doesn't matter. Like,
they're
no.
in the seventh spot, getting ready to play the Denver Nuggets, who are in the second spot. That's what's about to happen. Now, let me ask you this: these Golden State Warriors, did they underachieve?
No, they didn't underachieve. Like that team didn't have any championship aspirations. It didn't. That team didn't have championship. Like, what more could you do with that team? Like, what more could they achieve? Like, really, like, what more could they do?
Here's my only fundamental issue with some of the things you say, Coach J.O. And I love you like a brother. But here's some of the fundamental things that I have an issue with what you say.
Go ahead.
It could be any other team. It could be any other player, and we make all these concessions. We make all these different melees and pelees to make sure that that person gets the due credit that they are deserved. But as it pertains to any team that LeBron James has played for, they get no credit. They get no clemency. They get no reprieve. They're bums. They're trash, and they need to throw LeBron James in the trash. And that,
you know why?
My friend, that is why you and I don't agree.
You know why, though? You know why? You know why?
But you agree.
No. It's
But
because
do you
of
agree with
LeBron
me?
James fans.
But
That's
do
why.
you agree with me?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't agree. I
So
don't
let me
agree
ask you
with how
this.
you come
I'm
up
going
with
to
the
ask you
point.
a clear and cut question.
I don't agree with how you get there. I didn't
Okay.
agree with how you get there.
Okay.
I don't
Okay,
agree.
well, here's how I get it. Here's how I get it. Per you, did Caitlin Clark's career, all the accolades she had, all the things she accomplished, what she meant to the women's NCAA basketball game this year, did it mean absolutely nothing because she didn't win a championship?
It meant something,
It
right?
meant something.
I'm going to show you.
I'm glad we record these shows, is what you said.
Right.
I'm glad we
Hold on.
record these shows. I would like for you to go back and hear yourself on
Hold on,
camera.
Coach Scott. Let him respond. Let him respond. I want to hear this response.
Okay. Listen, for one, you and people like yourself, when fans, and LeBron James fans feel like LeBron James created the game of basketball. If we say anything else other than LeBron James created the game of basketball, we're a hater.
No, Dr. James Naismith.
Right or wrong? Right or wrong?
Dr. James Naismith created the game of basketball.
Who?
Dr. James Naismith.
No. Let y'all tell it. LeBron
No.
created the game
Dr.
of basketball.
James Naismith. I know better.
No. Let
I
y'all
know
tell
better.
it.
You said
LeBron
you.
James
Coach Scott,
created the game of basketball.
Coach Scott, you gotta let him finish. Y'all gotta realize when LeBron comes into play, the dude, it's another gear that kick in. Let him finish, Coach Scott. Let me do that.
No, he's
Let
wrong.
y'all tell it. LeBron James created. So since he's the I guess the standard for basketball, he needs to remain that. So we're gonna hold him to that standard. You see, this is what y'all want to do. Y'all want to say LeBron James is the greatest ever, but you want to hold him the role player standards. We're not doing that. If he's the greatest player ever, if he's the best thing to ever touch a basketball, those are the standards we're holding him to. Point blank, period.
Well, Coach J.O., now I'm gonna be fair. Coach Scott's question was a fair question, and he referenced Caitlin Clark, but she did not win a championship. And the question was, everything that she accomplished, does it not matter? You said it matters. Now with LeBron, he has accomplished a lot without winning championships. So does it matter? Yes or no?
Again, you got to think about it. Context matters. Did Caitlin Clark have more all-star players than anybody in NBA history or women's basketball history? Did she have more top 75 players in NCAA history, women's basketball? No, she didn't. She didn't have the best players, the top recruits like LeBron James did.
So what
She
you're
didn't have
saying,
that.
what you're saying is, since LeBron had all of that, what you just stated, then his individual accolades does not matter because he didn't win a championship, but hers
It ain't
does
that it
matter.
doesn't
Hold on,
matter.
wait. But hers does matter because she didn't win a championship, and she did accomplish all of those things that she did accomplish. So what I'm just trying to get a clean yes or no. Yes or no first, and then you can explain. Because I think he got you in the corner right here. I'm just trying. Did it matter? Does LeBron James' accomplishments matter? Yes or no?
But it's not simple as yes or no. He underachieved. That's why I used the word underachieved.
He did.
Right?
I agree.
That's why I use that word underachieve. She didn't underachieve. LeBron James, you remember, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. You got to do that. You got to live up to that. You have to.
I think most people had her, that Iowa team as winning a championship.
Because
a lot of
her.
people did.
Because of her.
Well, because of LeBron, same thing.
No. It's because LeBron plus the tons of all-stars and the tons of top 75 players. That's why.
Well, with that being said, hey, you guys watching, y'all make sure y'all put y'all comments down below in the comment section because I'm curious to see what everybody thinks. Let's go to the next segment. All right. Speaking of LeBron James, question, and we're gonna start with Coach Scott. All right, the 2003 Cavs, because everybody like to say, "Oh, well, Jordan missed the playoffs his first year, the second year, he got swept, he got this, he got that, whatever," right? But we know about the '84 Bulls team. It was a pretty pathetic team, right? But was the Bulls team that Jordan was drafted to as good as the Cavs team that LeBron was drafted to? What are your thoughts? Yes or no?
Trash. Absolute garbage. Here's some statistical facts, but also
Hold on. The 84 Bulls team that Jordan was drafted to, were they as good as this 2003 Cavs team that LeBron was drafted to? Yes or no, and then continue.
They were the same.
All right, you got it. You have it.
They were the same. I'm taking a page out of Coach J.O. book. I'm going to answer everything, but I'm not answering anything. Right? So, as stated.
But wait, I asked you the question. This is me.
Some direct quotes. What I mean, what do you want to hear? They're the same team. They were drafted to terrible situations.
So do you think, so you're saying those teams were equally as
Terrible.
Good or bad?
They were equally as bad, yes.
Okay, you got it.
Here's why. Here are some direct quotes from a 17-65 Cleveland Cavalier basketball team in 2002, giving context. Direct quote from Ilgauskas. We went and tied the Denver Nuggets. I don't care, so what? Carlos Boozer. We have better players than him at the position. Darius Miles. I don't think you can bring a high school player in and change an organization, change a team. If he comes in, he can get on our bandwagon. This is the venom a high school player was going to enter into the year prior to a team going 17-65. In 2003, when that high school player got on the team with better players, they went 35-47, a plus 18 win ratio. They went from the 28th ranked offense, from 24 out of 29 in defense. They went from that to a respectable, better than 22 of 29 rated offense, a 17 of 29 defense. They actually got outscored by this. There are better players on the team. When LeBron James gets there as a 19-year-old, he averaged 21, 5, and 6. The next closest player was Carlos Boozer. They were better players already than him. 15, 11, and 2. Ricky Davis.
Was Carlos Boozer an all-star anytime in his career?
I have absolutely no clue. I think Carlos Boozer's best years were with the Chicago Bulls.
I think you have a clue. All right, hold on. Let me get Coach J.O. on this. Coach J.O., maybe I can get a better and cleaner answer out of you. The 1984 Bulls, were they as good or bad as the 2003 Cleveland Cavaliers?
See about it. You see how simple it would have been for Coach to just be
everything.
real. No. Just be real. Like, this is the problem that people have with LeBron James fans, right? Like, everything that you said, it's not necessarily a lie, but you don't have to just be like, oh, well, besides, they are equal. You don't have to do that. You can just say that the 84 Bulls were worse. Your statement will still be true. Just say the 84 Bulls were worse. You don't have to say that they were equal, because they were not. That Cavs team were better than the 84 Bulls. You know that. That was a better roster. You know that. You know it.
How do they, Coach J.O., let's be honest. I respect your acumen as an athlete. Now, I respect your acumen as an athlete. You're a former athlete. Let's be honest. With the venom of a true freshman coming into a varsity locker room, dealing with that type of venom before you ever put a pad on, you mean to tell me that is a better team? Damn what it say on the paper. Is that a better
See,
team?
that
Come on,
that's
coach.
not. But you know the question that's being asked. He's
I know.
asking
I'm asking the
who
question.
had
That's
the
what I'm
more
asking.
talent. Who had the more talent? The '84 Bulls
Doesn't
or
matter.
the
Talented
03
teams get beat
Cavaliers?
all the
03 04.
time. It's about the team. LeBron James, before he touched the NBA basketball court, he was a high school player. He hadn't succeeded or failed at anything. He hadn't succeeded or failed. All I'm saying is, as a high school player coming into a locker room with that type of venom, it didn't matter who the hell was on the roster. If they didn't like the best player that was about to be on their team, it didn't matter what their roster looked like. And you know that, and I know that.
Good.
That's why I say they were equal.
Oh my goodness. There's no way they were equal, though. You know that. Like, just say, like there's no way that they were equal, right? When you think about it, Ilgauskas was literally an all-star before LeBron got there, right or wrong. Like, he was an all-star. I'm not saying that he was the best center in the world. I'm not even saying he's no top 75 or even a top 150 player ever. But he was an all-star. He was an all-star level player. Okay? Carlos Boozer. Was he the Carlos Boozer he was in Utah and with Chicago? No, but he was a good player. Ricky Davis, good player. Like, those were good players. Darius Miles, like, those are decent players, like real NBA players.
But let me ask you a question. What does that even mean when you have that type of venom at the end of your 2002 season when you went 17 and 65?
That's a different question, though.
How
does this team? This is all I'm saying.
I'm on mute. I'm on mute. Hold on, Coach L. I mean, Coach Scott. Coach Scott, hold on. I was talking to y'all on mute. You keep saying venom. I just have a quick question. I'm gonna give it back to you and Coach RJ. Is that venom equal to having drug addict teammates? Is that not as equally as destructive?
Well, I can say this much.
I know what you're not going to say. You're not going to answer the question. I need an answer to the question.
No. I'm going to answer your question directly.
Okay.
I can say this much. I've played with teammates that drank and indulged in other things, and they were still good.
Were they snorting cocaine?
I can't confirm or deny. I can't confirm or deny.
Oh,
I
man.
can't confirm or deny.
All right, I wouldn't ask you to confirm or deny.
But they were still good. They were still good. And you couldn't tell. You couldn't tell on the game day. On game day, you couldn't tell. I'm gonna be honest. You couldn't tell.
All right. Well, Coach Ayo, before we started this, I kind of knew we weren't going to get the coach. That's why I started with him first. I knew we weren't going to get an answer straight up out of him. So it's all good.
Answer your question?
Go ahead.
Taking all the names out of it, taking everybody's name out of it. In the NBA, I present you with a team that's 17 and 65 and say, hey, you're going to be the new head coach. When you walk in the front door, do you think this team is good, or do you think this team has room for improvement?
Okay. Definitely have room for improvement. But what I also look at is this. See how I answered the question first before I elaborate? Yes. But what I also look at is this. That team, every starter was a double-digit scorer. They even had a double-digit scorer off the bench. They almost had 2 double-digit scorers off the bench. They had production. Now, I'm not saying, I want to make this clear. I'm not saying that you're laughing. It's facts. It's facts. Should I pull the numbers up? I mean, I can pull them up. But here's the thing. I'm not saying that they were going to be Eastern Conference champions. But what I'm saying is this. People are making the case as LeBron never has any help. And that's not true. As a matter of fact, Coach J, we just saw, who was it, Eddie House. Not only Eddie House, but oh God, I'm drawing a blank. from New York. He played for the Knicks and then came to the
J.R.
Cavs.
Smith.
J.R. Smith.
J.R.
How did I forget his name? We see two of LeBron James's teammates, two of them, talking about how they're always being rolled under the bus as if LeBron's not on the court missing shots. Every time, if we win, it's LeBron's the guy because we won.
Yep.
If we lose, it's because of us. Eddie House made the statement and said, I wasn't even in the game. How was it my fault?
That's right. I'm taking it as he's talking about me.
Yeah.
You talk about me, brother? If we're going to point the fingers,
Let's point it.
we'll point the finger at the fourth quarter, collapsed every game that we had. Actually, you know what? It was 1-1, game 2. We were up. We collapsed in the fourth quarter. They tied it up. We win game 3. We go up 2-1.
Right.
We didn't win another game. So if we're going to, we're going to play the blame game.
Let's play it.
I wasn't out on the court.
Right. Who was on the court?
The man saying that the other guys wasn't getting
Was
it done.
LeBron on the court in the fourth quarter?
I don't know. You know what? He was, but he was. Hey, he was, but he wasn't.
There you go.
He was there. He wasn't there in spirit. I played 56 games and averaged 17 minutes. Come on, man. I was shortchanged.
You're the one with the fourth quarter meltdown in 2011 versus the Dallas Mavericks. Don't scrunch up. Do this to your face. Unbar your face real quick. Let me finish talking. Just do this real quick. All right? Do that real quick. Okay, thank you. So listen, they
Forget about it. All right.
these are his teammates. His teammates said this. So people can't say
I very seriously J.R. Smith said anything negative about him because J.R. Smith holds LeBron James at the highest regard. From the comments I've read and the things I've seen about J.R. Smith and LeBron James's actual specific relationship, I don't see anything but adoration.
he
for the guy.
literally said it is hard to play with LeBron for that reason.
No, man, it's like, honestly, it's a gift and a curse with playing with Bron. Like, I love Bron to death, and I love playing on this team because for me, I feel like I thrive more under the pressure. But a lot of guys don't like it because, it can go one or two ways. It's either, what did you not do to help him win, and who else didn't not help him win, And it's like, bro, don't get me wrong, like, yes, he had 40, 15, 9, and 8, but he missed a free throw too. like, don't just look at me because I missed an open shot. It's like, we all missing out here. It ain't like it's just, and I think that for a lot of guys, it's hard to, especially with the day and age we're in, social media, continuously people.
He literally said it on the podcast. He still went in to talk about how he had respect for LeBron, but he still confessed the fact that you get blamed for everything playing with LeBron. He literally said it. And then Eddie House came out and just recently he said the same thing. We're getting blamed for this, but you're supposed to be the man and you're out there messing up. And when you don't win, we all get blamed. But when you do win, now these are his teammates now. So you can say, well, Abaya is a hater. Coach J.O.'s a hater and Jordan fans are haters. But these are his teammates. Coach J, am I making this up? I'm not making this up.
No. And you see how easy it is for LeBron James fans to equate the truth to hate. He said, Coach said just because J.R. Smith told the truth, he loves LeBron. He got nothing but adoration. He still has adoration for LeBron. He just told the truth. He just told the truth.
But then I say, but don't put words in my mouth. Hold on, wait a second. I'm gonna defend myself though. I didn't say anything about hate. I said I've never read a piece of literature, nor have I seen anything where J.R. Smith has said anything except for having the highest adoration.
Because you said I highly doubt he would say that because of this. That's what Coach J was pointing out.
Because of what I've seen. The eyeball test. I used the eyeball.
But why did you?
I've seen it read.
But why did you take that comment by J.R. Smith as a negative thing? Because you responded because it was a negative.
Because what you because what yourself, Coach J.O., and other Michael Jordan fans tend to do. This is what I say you guys tend to do. Is you guys take moments and you literally pull away from the greatness of LeBron James and build Michael Jordan's career and history. Like, this wasn't a guy who physically punched one of his teammates. Like this
Wait
was
a minute. You are really just taking you come back over here. We're here. You just went over there. First off, we did not say this. J.R. Smith said it. Eddie Howe, they said this. We did not say it.
They got a
Only
Michael
thing,
Jordan tour.
the only
They got a no bull tour about one guy.
You see how long that lasted? You see how
They
long
got
that
a
lasted? When the last time you heard it?
tour.
but
No,
wait,
come
hold on. Let me say
They got
this.
a
Let me
tour
say this.
about one guy.
Let me say this though. But hold on. Check this out. We didn't say this. I want to say it again.
I'm
Why
not
are
on the
you?
tour.
Why are
But I'm not on
you?
the tour.
But listen, okay, you're right. They do have a no. They did have a no bull tour, but at the same time, the same person, the primary person, Scottie Pippen, on that no bull tour, did he not go into Australia TV studio, sit down, and say and proclaim Michael Jordan as the GOAT at the same time he's supposed to be having a tour? Yes or no? So that's fine. I'm not trying to make it seem like Michael Jordan didn't punch Steve Kerr in the eye, whatever the case may be. You keep calling me a Michael Jordan fan. Off the court, I don't ask Jordan for autograph. I see Jordan, I keep trucking. I don't ask for autograph. Why? Because Jordan seems to be a rude dude. He seems to be pretty mean. I get it. Hey, you want your space? I'll give you your space. You got to worry about that. I'm just being real. On the court, I see as he's a better player, whether I like him personally or not. He's just the GOAT. I got to give it to him. With that, but I want to circle back to the point though.
I respect that.
Everybody always makes it seem like LeBron James has no help. And every time he loses, it's the coach's fault. This man had 8 coaches. 8. And if I remember correctly, 6 of the 8 were fired. 8 coaches. And now there's players coming out and saying, I don't know, playing with LeBron James is hard. Oh, he gonna roll me under the bus? Well, let me tell you about LeBron James. We actually saw Udonis Haslem saying our best player, or our most important player, should I say, was Chris Bosh. Yes, we know LeBron can be LeBron, but if LeBron went down, we got Wade to step in for LeBron. We needed Chris Bosh as that most important player. Ray Allen comes out, another teammate. Listen, I don't think this guy's just not Jordan, but it's okay. Why is it so bad that this time, 2024 in history, it's a horrible thing to be honest? Why is it so bad to be honest? And it's so bad nowadays, Coach J, and I'm going to be quiet. It's so bad now if we say LeBron is the top 5 or the number 2 or a 1B even greatest players of all time. That's an insult. How? Why? What in the world? But Coach Scott, you cannot get past the fact that they said this and you equated that to negative, and that's why you started responding. But they said it. They said it. And in our chat, we got the videos in our chat. You saw it. We got them in there. Go ahead, Coach J. He's just gonna hold his face real quick. You go ahead.
Okay. but this is the thing, right? Why is it? It's such, like you just said, it's such a cardinal sin not to say LeBron James is the greatest. Like, and then you want to say he's the greatest, but don't want to hold him to greatest standards. Like, you do understand if you're the greatest, that means that you have to be the greatest in every standard. You got to rank high in all of the standards. You just
In most
can't
of them,
be
at
great.
least. A lot of them.
You can't be great in one area or 2. You have to be great in all of them, or very, very good.
Coach JL,
Yes, sir.
what are the standards?
The standards are having the skill.
Stop. Is LeBron James not one of the top skilled players in the NBA still after 21 years? I'm asking you that.
No.
Yes or no?
When you say top, what is top? If you're talking about top 5, top 20?
When I say top, I'm talking top 5.
Top 5 skill, no.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Wait. Before you ease past that, let's make sure we're saying the same thing about skill. Skill, like footwork, dribbling.
You asked Zion now. Matter of fact, you just watched the game last night. He struggled and was flirting with a triple-double. He struggled.
That's not the same thing, though. That's not the same thing. That's not the same thing. Let me ask you this question, Coach Scott. Would you call Shaq a top 5 skilled player?
In the paint, yeah. Yeah. In the
See how
paint,
you had to categorize that really quickly, right? So here's why I'm asking you that. The reason I'm asking you that because Shaq could get a triple double. He'd get a double double, dunk and get 30, 40, 50, 20 rebound, whatever. That's Shaq. Shaq is that doesn't mean he's a skilled player. He's good at what he does. So I just want to make sure we understand we're talking about the same things about skills, footwork, dribbling, passing, which I think LeBron is a great passer, one of the greatest. I give him that. But so I just want to make sure we're saying what skill really is, not just because he get a triple double. That doesn't make him skilled.
Right. But here's what I'm talking about as skill. I saw something yesterday that I have not seen in a basketball game in over 15 years. I saw LeBron James take 2 physical charges, one from Zion and another from I'm drawing a blank right now, but
Herb Jones.
That's skill. That's knowing the game. That's basketball IQ. That I saw LeBron James get Zion off the square, in the air, go underneath him, and do in a finger roll off the glass. That's skill. That's footwork and skill.
But taking a charge is a skill.
Absolutely. That's not, everybody don't take no damn charges. I haven't seen it in 15 years. I have not seen it in 15 years.
You must be watching NBA like that.
I mean, you must be watching them because I have not seen a charge being literally a guy sealing the lane off, standing statuous, and literally get ran over to take the charge from a.
That's
from a
great.
Zion.
Listen, from Zion, I wouldn't take a charge from Zion, and but I don't. I could be wrong. Coach J.O., you're the basketball coach. I could be wrong. I just don't think that's a skill. Because as a coach, I could say Phil Jackson can tell Jordan to take a charge, but Phil Jackson probably ain't had the skill enough to get out there and take that charge himself, or as you call a skill. But yet he had the IQ to know that the charge should be taken. So I don't think it takes a lot of skill to just jump in the lane. I think it's taking more IQ than skill. I could be wrong. A coach can tell you to do that. That don't mean the coach himself can do it. I mean, I don't know. I'm confused now because I don't equate that to being skillful. I think there's other things that we can call skill.
A coach can coach a lot of different things, but it's only an athletic and skillful player that can do what they're being asked or what they're being coached to do.
I agree with that.
That's why you have starters, second string, and bench players.
But I agree with that. But you're taking that and taking a charge as skill inside of that. That's what I don't agree with. I don't think it takes that much skill to say he's coming. Let me get in the front and stand here. I don't think maybe IQ, but not so much skill. Skill is let me dribble and get to the basket. Let me create a shot. Let me pull up. Let me do a jumper. Let me chest pass, bounce pass, get a good pass in. These are different skills, and I could be wrong, but that's just what I think. My opinion.
And utilizing what you just said, his jumper's there, his three is there, his post game is there. He's one of the top 10 players from the inside and outside in the league this year at 21 years. At 21 years
I'm glad we got this recorded. I'm glad we got this recorded.
I'm glad
we got this recorded.
I'll post the chart for you.
Oh, hey, listen. Hey, I'm glad we got it recorded.
LeBron
James is a top 10 player. He's a top 10 player. Okay.
Inside and out.
Is LeBron James a top 10 player in the NBA?
Do this.
Is LeBron James a top 10 player in the NBA? Selwyn, is LeBron James a top 10 player?
Do this.
Oh, okay.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I'll say that unequivocally. LeBron
He's a top 10 player right now,
at
today.
21 years. Yes. Yes. Until he leaves the game, LeBron James will be one of the best basketball players playing basketball, period.
Let me ask you another question. Anthony Davis. Is Anthony Davis a top 10 player in the NBA?
Anthony Davis, yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. It's recorded. It's recorded. It's recorded.
I think Coach J.O. trying to back in the corner.
Oh, it's gonna happen
for the future.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
The foolishness he likes to talk about, it doesn't hold weight because he tries to shift paradigms too much.
No, I don't. I'm just gonna use your words. That's all. I'm just gonna use your words.
I'm glad because I've done it to you twice tonight.
Hey, I'm gonna use your words.
I'm glad about it. Please do.
Anything you say,
All right.
can and will be held against you.
All right, we got to go to the next segment. All right, listen, we skipping ahead. We got to wrap it up. But before we do, listen, if y'all have not, let me get it back on the screen on my side monitor here. If you guys are not joining us for the GOAT debates, we just finished the entire bracket for the greatest team of all time. And we had tons of teams, man. We had the 83 76ers, 2014 Spurs, the 87 Lakers, 2017 Golden State Warriors, the 89 Pistons, and the list just goes on and on. 2001 Lakers. So every week we were doing, when we go live, we were doing the voting. The voting. I didn't even tell him to grab the bell. Look, he got it.
She missed.
Well, that pretty high quality jewel that Coach Scott is holding. These guys battle for the belt. Coach J.O., he has a really, look at his look. look on his face. Coach J.O. was the reigning champion. All right. He was the reigning champion. Coach Scott came and took the belt back. And how does that happen? Well, we have the GOAT debates. I mean, make sure you guys join in. We have a bracket where you guys can vote on who is the greatest player, the greatest team, everything. We're going from teams to players in all sports, whether it be quarterback, receiver, center, the greatest power forward, all of that good stuff. The one that we just finished up was the greatest team in NBA history. And by the way, the 1996 Bulls came out on top. All of your votes, you guys voted the 1996 Bulls as the greatest team in NBA history. The runner-up was the 2001 Lakers, and behind them was the 1991 Chicago Bulls in third place. And how this goes, every time we go live, they are convincing you guys which team or player, depending on what we're debating, or duo, just depending what we're debating, they're going to convince you who was the best. And if you go out and you actually vote for who they were pulling for, that's a victory for them. The coach with the most victories at the end, he gets to hoist the belt. And Coach Scott, he hoisted the belt. When it came down to it, it was a 2001 Lakers versus the 96 Bulls. For whatever reason, Coach J.O. went with the 2001 Lakers for whatever reason. Coach Scott, he may be a LeBron guy, but he was smarter than this one. He went with the 96 Bulls. He knew who the better team was. And therefore, he has the belt. Coach Scott, you got any words before we get up out of here? The new champion?
Absolutely. I always do. As a champion, you always want to give a hearty thanks to your losing opponent for just trying. That's the best he could do. That's the best they will do against a true champion. But the belt wanted to come home, and she came home. She came on home. You couldn't convince people that Michael Jordan was going to give up 43 points a night. That's crazy in itself. Hey, just to say it sounds crazy, but it was as crazy to hear. You understand what I'm saying? But hey, can you please tell the fans, the viewers out there, what was the actual total? What was the percentages? What did that look like?
The vote percentage was very lopsided. It was 88.9% for the Chicago Bulls, 1996 Chicago Bulls, and 11.1% for the 2001 Lakers. Mm-hmm. So 88.9, roughly 89% of all voters voted for the 96 Bulls.
Yeah, that sounds like you got jumped by two people and it was only one person.
Coach J.O. as the runner-up, got anything you want to say?
I mean, of course. Just like the LeBron versus MJ is a phony GOAT debate, we got a phony champion today, right? We got a phony champion today. So it is what it is. I get it. I understand. It's the nostalgia of Michael Jordan and the Bulls. People they get captivated. You know what I'm saying? They get hypnotized. It's the yesteryear thing. I get it. I understand.
Remember the recording.
Hey, you really don't believe it. You get what I'm saying? It's just that you're so caught up in it. You're so caught up in the emotion that you don't know how to say anything else. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like the MJ doctrine. Like you got the doctrine all in you. It's in you. So to go against it, it'll be a sin. Like you don't want to go against it. You don't want to go against MJ and say something else. You don't want to do it. Even if it's the truth, you don't want to do it. I get it.
Well, you know, sounds like a sore loser to me, but hey, we're gonna better luck next week. I'm just playing, Coach J.O. Hey, so listen, we are here. We have the GOAT debates every Tuesday night at 8:30. Come join us live. You can chime in the chat, in the comment section. We open up the phone lines for you guys to call in and take part with us. As you see, Coach J.O. he's pretty upset here. Y'all, he might need y'all next time. Might need a little bit of help. So Tuesday nights at 8:30, we're live and we upload Thursdays also at 12 noon. We're on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button. We're also on Facebook. We're also on Instagram. We're on all social media. Make sure you guys follow us. Hit the subscribe button. And until next time, we'll see you guys then. Welcome to The GOAT Debate, the premier online sports debate show where engaging discussions and thrilling debates unfold as we determine who is the greatest of all time in every sport. I am your host, Abaya Israel, joined by my two co-hosts, Coach Scott and Coach J.O. Tune into our YouTube and Facebook channels to catch our reactions and coverage of the biggest games and the latest news. Don't miss out on your chance to participate in the action. Join us every Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for The GOAT Debate, where you, the viewer, can call in and share your thoughts on who deserves the title of the GOAT. Be sure to mark your calendars. Every Monday, we upload 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, and we go live every Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to subscribe, call in, and participate. Come and be a part of the conversation.